Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Super Exploding Zoo. Really is better late than never on this one. Honey Slug haven't actually had the best luck with me, I've noticed that. It seems that I've either never been able to actually cover one of their Vita games, or there's been some sort of technical issue which has prevented me from doing so. And this time it was a technical issue, or at least back when it first came out. This was when my first 64GB memory card was failing. And every time you try to boot this game up on a memory card that's failing, it will just crash within the first 5 minutes, guaranteed. This is actually something that happens consistently across memory cards, I've found. This game has crashed on me twice while I've been playing it. And I know that my memory card in my Vitas that I have right now, it's not a new card, but it's not one that's breaking down either. So I think that there's a problem with this game where if you play it on a card that's not like brand new, you'll start to run into issues. But thankfully, I have been able to play enough of the game to give you an idea. Because a patron asked for this video, so I decided to just, I've played a little bit of it. I can't give you an exact time because the game doesn't have a save clock, but if I had to guess, it'd be around an hour and a half. I've got the general idea of the game anyway, so we have a little bit of a menu we can wander around here in, and we can do things like look at our souvenirs, which is literally just a bunch of collectibles. When you finish certain levels and find stickers on certain levels, you'll get little pieces of art like this. It's actually pretty neat. The game's art style overall is actually really nice. I like the way that they've done it. They've made all the animals look super cute, which actually just adds a little bit of weird juxtaposition to it when they blow the hell up, and also that is horrifying. They look like they are really stressed. But yeah, there's a few things you can go do. This hub area is a little bit explorable, but not much. There's a couple of things you can do, like find stickers and stuff like that, but nothing too out of the ordinary. It's mainly going to places like the hatchery. The hatchery lets you both unlock new animals and reskins of certain animals. So I should have enough enough animals left to unlock the next animal, so you can see what I mean. It'll either be a reskin of an animal or a new animal entirely, but at this point it's probably going to be a reskin. You can see how many I've unlocked down there and how many I've got left to unlock. I've got the wolf. This animal can use podiums like lions. Yeah, so it's basically a lion in a different skin. You get animals for the hatchery via completing levels with more animals than you would need to do so normally. So you got two different kinds of modes here. I haven't been able to play the versus mode because it's online multiplayer, so we'll mainly be talking about the puzzle mode in this video. Maybe if this game's servers ever go down, we might try and hop on the online stuff, but for now, let's just go and hop into Kaboom Lagoon, which is the second set of levels. As you can see, I finished all the way up to level 30, but then I also went and played level 40, and when I finished level 40, it actually let me go straight to level 41, despite the fact that the gate there is locked. Not entirely sure what the deal is there, but we'll hop in here. You need to finish every level in the area before it'll let you move on to the next area. So, if you're wondering why that gate is still locked, that's why it is. I was going to say, please don't crash on me now. Thankfully, it hasn't. So, this is Super Exploding Zoo. The general idea is that you've got a bunch of different animals, and these different animals can all do all sorts of different things. Your default animal is the penguin, which is blue, and I don't actually have any on this, would you believe I don't actually have any on this thing? And they can basically just run into these dudes here and blow up and do some damage. Then you've got some special ones, like the meerkats here, who can dig into the ground and then come up and use plungers, and you've got monkeys, which can use plungers and climb over walls, and you've got elephants, which are really strong, and you've got crocodiles that can make bridges for you. And the general idea is that you need to gather as many of these animals as possible into explosive hordes. And what you do with those explosive hordes is you run them straight into these little aliens. They're here to try and eat your eggs. And if they eat your eggs, you're done. But thankfully, you can go and beat the crap out of them just by wandering into them with a bunch of explosive animals. So, ooh, you can stop these with an elephant, apparently. Okay, lovely. I need to go find an elephant. And there appears to be an elephant right there. I haven't actually run into an elephant in this game yet, which is a little odd. I don't know why they're bringing it up this time, but anyway. So if I hold the square button, that's how you use the special ability of whatever animal you've got at the time. It looks like we've got a bunch of foxes here as well, but I don't think there's going to be a podium to put him on. So we're just going to go and run straight into this dude here. There we go. I just accidentally went to the hatchery because I'm an idiot. Thankfully, we can just dump whatever animals we have and then head straight back, but yeah. The controls in this game are a little odd. Gonna need a lot of egg power for this one, apparently. Back we go. Thankfully, it just puts us right back down. We can go straight to the next level. Hurrah! So what do we got this time? Okay, we got the penguin, and we've got a dig spot. So we need to go and find some animals to use. Looks like we've got a couple right here. Come on, elephant. You'll dig down here. And there's a spot, and blow the crap out of all these dudes, and we win. Looks like it's just a bunch of tutorial levels this time. We'll eventually get to the harder stuff. The game does like to give you a little bit of a tutorial, but nevertheless. There are a couple of extra controls that the game is prompting me about here. The one you really want to know about is the tactics mode, where you can hold the R button and it will allow you to basically send out a dude remotely. However, I've found this mode extremely hard to use effectively. It's kind of annoying, actually. I will show that off at some point. Right, obviously going to need a elephant for this, but thankfully I do indeed have an elephant. If I can just, thank you, use the plunger properly. Come on, Mr. Elephant. So he's giving me access to a few crocodiles. And I can use those crocodiles to bridge a gap that's on down here. I might want to see what's going on here first. Crap out of all of that. And that gets us a bunch of, I think these are monkeys. Okay, I'm just gonna take out this dude here just so he's not wandering over the thing. So this is the basic way the gameplay works. You're generally trying to... What's the word I'm looking for? You're generally trying to do the right things in the right order. That's the basic drill of it. You want to try and find all the animals as quickly as you can, and you want to try and use them in the right order. So you want to be careful, say, not to use all your elephants before you've blown the crap out of all the bombs that need to be blown up. You want to be careful not to use your gators and stuff like that. This would be okay on its own, but the game's got a couple of problems which I find surprisingly annoying. First things first is that the horde that you've got to control here, like look at the size of my horde right now. It's absolutely flippin' huge. And the thing about the horde is that you need to control it very specifically, and the controls on the horde are not only very floaty, but also quite imprecise. So putting the right animal at the front of the horde is surprisingly difficult. And if you put the wrong animal at the beginning of the horde, you will use it by colliding with an enemy, for example. Because when your horde gets big enough, it's very hard to get around tight passageways without running into some sort of problems. So just as an example, say you got one monkey and you need to pull a plunger. If you've got that monkey at the part of the horde that you need it to be in, like at the part of the horde that's in front that you need to try and avoid running into, say, just a dude that's getting really close to an egg, like right now, because this is actually going to be surprisingly annoying to get to. Oh good, we got a speed boost. That's nice. Let's speed boost this shit. Oh, he's got one thing left, so let's just run into him with that dude, and there we go. But yeah, if you've got the horde in a certain way, you end up in a bit of trouble, mainly because you can't use it to say, you can't get a certain animal to the beginning of a horde, or to the front of a horde, I should say. And it can be surprisingly annoying when that does happen, because you'll end up in a situation... You'll end up in a situation where it doesn't feel like there's anything you could have done about it. And you'll just end up, like, blundering straight into the path of a... Straight into the path of the dude, and you'll have to restart whatever the level is you're playing, just because the game decides that, oh, you put this dude way too close to the front, despite the fact that you basically had no control over it, you're screwed. And that really is what it feels like sometimes. I need to head back. I probably should have gone down and got the speed boost. Probably not going to make it back in time. Oh no, I'm going to be okay. Blow the crap out of him. Easy done. And we might as well just send, like, if he's the only one left, we might as well just send everyone in there. So I might as well show off the tactics mode. I haven't actually found that much use for it. There was like one level where you needed to use it in order to actually get through. But other than that, ooh, we got breeding grass, which is grass up there. And you feed them with the green grass to actually make them have babies. And then you... This is a weird sentence. You feed them with the grass and they have babies. Then you feed them with the yellow grass and the babies grow. So, yeah. Alright, so let me show you the tactics mode. So you hold the R button to get into tactics mode. And this does actually let you see the entire level, which is nice. Although generally you won't have an idea of what order you really want to take it on until you have played through it once or twice. So you can select an animal with the right stick, and then you can send them out to a specific target by pointing to it and then letting go of the R button. So as you can see, it sends them out long range, long distance there. Not the worst idea, but just the controls in it are really finicky for no discernible reason. Like, it's really odd just how strange it is. When I say finicky, I mean that it feels even looser than trying to control the horde normally. And it's just really strange. Probably blow this open and get some more walls up. That's what the wolves do. They slow down the dudes there. I appear to have done this puzzle in the wrong order because I'm going to need these, I'm going to need the bloody monkeys, whatever they are. So I'm going to just return back to the hub and go and play the next puzzle because no point just standing around playing the same puzzle over and over again. And they'll probably have the growing grass in the next level as well. But yeah, it's a pretty basic puzzle game, all things considered, with annoyingly floaty controls and horde management. And I just find it to be not that interesting, in all honesty. It's just, with the puzzles basically being so tight on time, there's really only a certain way you can actually do them. So you end up in this situation where you do it exactly the way they tell you to, or you just don't do it at all. Because you just run out of time because these dudes get way too close. And it's unpleasant when things have to go down that way. I'm not that big of a fan of it. We do have breeding grass by the looks of it. And judging by the size of this horde, we're going to have to use a lot of it. Let's just make sure we got a bunch of backups there. And I walked too close to the sun. Gotta go get those lions. Those lions would have been... Those lions and those elephants would have been way more useful in taking care of business. Nope, they got to the egg. Thankfully, this is a relatively quick one, so we'll actually retry this one. Now that I know that there's elephants in the top right corner, I know what I have to do. Or at least I've got a better idea of what I have to do. If I make a run straight for those elephants, pick them all up, and make my way back down here, I can have my elephants eat the grass, and I can have all the babies spawn. So now I'll just send an elephant in that direction there. Send one up here. And one there. We'll take this one out too, because why not? Well, we're out of elephants, which kind of sucks. So I guess it's time to go get the lions. Nope, they were really quick about it. Right. Okay. Slightly new plan. Avoid the monkeys, get the lions. Because I need to breed as many of the really strong ones as possible, and there doesn't seem to be a way that I can do that, at least particularly easily. Because Horde. Sometimes I'll get stuck around corners and bullshit like that as well. It gets really annoying after a while. So yeah, just get a few babies going. Grow up. Pull back before the Horde dies. Or gets there, I should say. Okay, so we have 55 Horde power, which is actually a lot. So let's just get a few more babies going. Yeah, 57 and 46. This will be enough to finish the puzzle. So just wander right into these dudes. Grab a few reinforcements while we've got the chance. And they do count towards being able to get new stuff in the hatchery, of course. 6. So yeah, there we go. That'll do it. Enemies also have exactly 6 hit points, so controlling the Horde in the way that you would want without using the tactics mode is just annoyingly finicky. Like, if you send, say, a lion, which does 4 points of damage, and then a second lion, which does another 4 points of damage, into a brain work with me here. If you send 2 lions, which do 8 points of damage, into something that has 6 points of health, that is generally when things will start to go bad, just because you'll end up in a situation where you'll end up in a situation where you do more damage than you can than the enemy actually has, and it'll just be a waste of the animal, which is really annoying, I gotta say. Alright, so we got a bunch of dudes here. First things first, let's make sure that they don't stand much of a chance of getting to my egg before I can hoard up a little bit more. Although I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to be able to do much about this anyway. Yeah, we've got a bunch of meerkats over here. We've got elephants there, which we really want. So I should probably go get them. I think they're about to be close to getting the eggs, so I should make this nice and quick. Oh, there's lions there too. We want the lions. There we go. Back we go. This is getting annoyingly close to comfort. Put an elephant in there. Eat the last few pieces of grass. Grow them up. And attack the rest of the horde, I think. And there we go. I think that was level 40 actually, so it might put me straight on level 41. Oh no, this is level 40. Okay, I think I've actually done this one before, so this shouldn't be too hard for me to figure out. So we got, okay. I need monkeys. And there's our one monkey there, so... Right. Need to bring the monkey up to the wall. Send him over. as many crocodiles as possible just while I'm in the neighborhood. Climb him up here to get the elephant. And we're starting to cut it close. Thank you. I can't lose the monkey. I've got to try and make it so I don't lose the monkey. So I've got all the dudes I need to finish the level successfully. But let's see if we can get a little bit more of the horde going. Oh no, we appear to have lost our monkey somewhere. Because screw this horde functioning nonsense. We'll do one more level, then we'll call it off. Yeah, this is level 41. Reinforcements. Kill them before they hatch and cause havoc. You can see a reinforcement right there. We want... Yeah, we'll take some lions. Is there any podiums for them? No, but there's the monkeys. We want the monkeys. We must go get the monkeys. Lion. Grab some more donkeys. Grab some meerkats. Another meerkat. And... Oh yeah, by the way, meerkats are the only things that can destroy reinforcements for some reason. Oh no, anything can destroy it by the looks of it. It was weird. I had trouble getting anything but the meerkats to recognize that they were a thing, so... Okay, donkey. Okay, meerkat needs to go under there to... blow this up. Get us our elephant, please. Run the last elephant into him, and we're done. So yeah, that was a quick look at least the single-player mode of Super Exploding Zoo. It's an okay puzzle game, but it's a bit... It's a bit linear. I don't like particularly linear puzzle games, especially in this sort of thing where you could encourage a more free-form approach to most puzzles. And there's an annoying... What's the word I'm looking for? Wow, it actually unlocked the third area this time? Okay. But yeah, the horde controls are annoyingly floaty to deal with and make it really imprecise. And for a game like this, which expects you to have a fair bit of precision, it's really annoying. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. I probably wouldn't recommend it unless it goes on sale. So there you go. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.